Thursday night was the last time Jesus met with all of his disciples together. They sat to eat the Passover feast at a meal that we now call the Last Supper. During the meal, Jesus introduced the sacrament. During the supper, he explained to his disciples that one of them would betray him. He told that person to go and do it quickly. Judas Iscariot got up and left the group. They then sang a hymn and went together to the Mount of Olives.
At the Mount of Olives in a garden called Gethsemane, Jesus instructed his disciples to wait for him while he went to pray. Jesus was sad because he knew the great pain he would suffer to atone for the sins of the world. Jesus fell to the ground and prayed, "Oh, my Father, if it would be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." An angel from heaven appeared to Jesus to strengthen him. Being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling to the ground. Then Jesus got up and went back to his apostles who were sleeping. He woke them up and asked them to watch and pray. He then went back to pray again. When he returned, he found his apostles asleep again. He left them and prayed again a third time. The Savior overcame sin by suffering for us in the Garden of Gethsemane. When Jesus had finished praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was betrayed into the hands of wicked men. The next several hours, Jesus suffered much pain and humiliation, as he faced an unfair trial and was mocked and beaten. He was forced to carry his cross to the hill where nails were driven into his hands and feet, and hung between two thieves. While on the cross, he gave to the persecutors. He also asked his beloved apostle John to take care of his mother. After several hours on the cross, the sun was darkened and the earth shook. Near the end, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "It is finished." He knew he had fulfilled his mission. Then he said, "Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit." Jesus bowed his head and gave up his life. The Savior atoned for us by suffering in Gethsemane and giving his life on the cross.
Jesus' followers asked for permission to take care of Jesus' body. They take a body from the cross. They put purpley spices on his body and wrapped it in fine linen. They limited Jesus' body in a garden tomb. And while they break big stone and the entryway.
On Sunday morning, several women went to the tomb to put more ointments on Jesus' body. When they arrived, the stone had been rolled away and the tomb was empty. They ran and told the apostles. Peter and John ran to the tomb and found it empty. After Peter and John left the tomb, Mary stood weeping outside of the tomb. She looked inside and saw 2 angels in white. They asked her why she was crying. She replied that they have taken away my Lord, and I know not where they have laid him. Mary turned away and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not recognize him. He asked her why she was crying and who she was looking for. Mary thought he was the gardener or caretaker, and said, Sir, if thou hast borne him hence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away. Then Jesus said, Mary. She turned, recognized him, and cried, Rabboni, which means master.
Jesus was now a resurrected being. Through his atonement, he overcame death, making it possible for all of us to live again. It is by his suffering and sacrifice we may all become clean in the sins of this life, if we but believe in him, accept him as our Savior, and keep his commandments throughout the rest of our lives.